What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk if we will get a Skybound The Walking Dead Season 5 in 2021. Get an announcement. Get something from this game. Now, it's not looking good. I'll be honest. I'll be transparent. I'll be open right in the beginning of this video. Last we heard from Skybound on this was probably the worst possible thing you could hear them say. With that being said, and I know people will sometimes say I'm not optimistic. I don't know what they're on. I'm a very optimistic guy. So I really do think that maybe they could be lying. Maybe they could just not be telling the full truth. And we'll go through kind of what we know in this video. As always, make sure, especially if you guys are new, that you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. I would love to have you guys over there. We got a great community on Twitter. All right, so last time we heard, Skybound literally did issue a statement saying that there are no plans for Season 5. This was last year. I believe this was in May of 2020. We had I believe the president of their gaming division at Skybound he said, never say never, but how close can you get to zero? So these are not the greatest signs in the world. So basically what it boils down to, okay, is that Skybound Games is like a helper kind of division. They are not like an in-house game development studio. They're not built from the ground up to do like their own games, kind of in that way. They're not built to build a game from the ground up. They even said like making The Walking Dead Season 4 was insanely difficult because they were not structured for that. Now remember, and this is why I kind of believe them, I also kind of don't. They hired a lot of Telltale's people that were working on The Walking Dead. Remember, The Walking Dead, what was episode 1 and 2, they both came out, or at least one of them came out from Telltale, and then they shut down. But the people that were working on those games, Skybound hired most of them, and they just kind of picked up where they left off, and they finished The Walking Dead. They finished that season. Now, again, like I can imagine switching studios, having people work at one, and then they work at another, and they have to kind of bring over it's like you have to bring your homework from one to the other, right? I do understand, like, that would be very, very difficult, but let's not forget, and this is, I get that they're saying kind of no, like, back in May, but before that, when they were making the Season 4, remember, there was a lot of talk, including from themselves, that, like, this doesn't have to be it. Like, Season 4 was kind of supposed to be the ending for Telltale, but it does not have to be the ending for Skybound, and they did express interest in doing more. In fact, they said that they would be interested in continuing it going forward. Now, does that have to mean Clementine? Not necessarily. I think it probably should, okay, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean you have her, but I do think there's more Walking Dead coming. And then, so to say that, and then like a year later to say like, yeah, we got no plans, like it was too hard, basically, we're not going to do that again. I just don't believe that. I feel like there's probably something going on there where they can't say, right? And it'll probably take quite a bit of time, but even right now, like it's been several years since it feels like it's been an eternity, but it's been a while since Season 4 came out. So does 2021 make sense to hear about this game? It does. I mean, every year always makes sense. You could frame it in that way, right, to hear about any game. But I do think like it's especially with what they're doing with the Walking Dead show. I mean, you can still kind of capitalize off it, and that's kind of what the game has got nothing to do with the show, and I think the game in a lot of ways, certain episodes and certain seasons are better than the show, but you can capitalize off of basically the farewell party, right, to the Walking Dead show. You can capitalize with the game. I find it next to impossible. Same reason like when I talk about an Uncharted game, like there's gotta probably be an Uncharted game in the works. Like, how can you let a franchise like that go? How can you have a movie come out this year and not have anything even remotely in the works for a game? Kind of the same thing. How do you let a franchise like The Walking Dead go? How do you let a franchise that did sell, I mean, The Walking Dead was like the best-selling Telltale thing they did. How do you let that leave you? You know what I mean? And again, with the show winding down, but the show really going out with the biggest bang of its life, the Rick, movie, right? All that kind of stuff. How do you let that just go and say, okay, any games? No games, just this. I find it really hard to believe that that's going to happen. I really do think, with all that being said, that it will happen. And again, yeah, it's a big undertaking, but like, they said, like, before, and remember, there were rumors. The reason they came out, in case people don't know, the reason they did come out and like actually have a statement, the Skybound Games talking about season 5, is because there was a leak about the Fatal Frontier, which obviously is a kind of a spin-off on the 3rd season, right? And that was going to be season 5. That was going to be the name of season 5. That obviously picked up really big steam. They got a lot of people talking, that more importantly, got a lot of people asking, about the game. Is it real? Are you making it? Stuff like that. And they had to respond because there was just so much stuff. But I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of examples of games just having leaks and rumors that are just flat out not true. You could say where there's smoke, there's fire on like a positive side. And I think more than anything too, what it does show is when there's even just a scent of blood. You know what I mean? When there's just a little opening, people like attacked it. People like, holy Jesus, a Walking Dead game, and they went after it. And so, if you're Skybound, and so that too, it's such a big franchise. It's worked before, show, all that kind of, you have people on your team that have worked on the Walking Dead games in the past. So all those things, but then you also have, okay, literally when there's even the small, now not all of these people are going to buy the game. There's hopefully you want more people than just a small Twitter army to buy your game just in general, right? But I would say it is a pretty good sign that when something like this happens, a very small leak, which it was, it had some details, but it was mainly just a name of this season 5. When you have something that small and people literally just attack it like blood hungry like animals, right? When you have that happen, that's got to be a good sign where it's like, okay, people really, like if we did announce it, if it was real, people would lose their minds. You know what I mean? So that's something positive I would say as well. I would say best case, worst case scenario, I guess I do think a game does exist or will exist. I do think we will get more of the episodic Walking Dead games. Okay, I do think that'll happen. Will it be announced this year? Will it happen this year? I think it's possible. It's been enough time where you could start to at least talk about it. Again, to capitalize off of the show. They said the Rick Grimes movie plans, still hopes at least to release sometime this year, or at least film in like very, very soon. So like you can capitalize, and I think it's definitely possible. I would say it becomes more likely each year though, because you just give them more time if they are actually working on it. Maybe they are working on it, and it's just not to a like a standard or a point in the development where they can talk about it. Okay, so I am an optimistic guy. I like to believe in these kind of things for these sequel videos that I make, and so we'll have to see. Let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think we'll get a season 5 of The Walking Dead? Do you think it'd be announced this year? What do you think's going? Do you think they lied about it being too difficult and that they're not doing it? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know all these videos go up. Again, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Would love to have you guys over there. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.